Caleb Williams may literally not survive this season. Well, not literally, but he's taken a lot of sacks, okay? Caleb Williams has taken a franchise record 58 sacks. 58 sacks. We had a left tackle in the game last night that looks like he's never been on a football field. I mean, did you see the guy? Karan Amagaji or whatever his name was. I don't even know what his name was. He literally did not touch the edge rusher. Like, he just let the edge rusher run right past him and just smoke Caleb right in the back of the head. And then you have Troy Aikman commentating the game saying, hey, if you don't want to take a sack, you just don't take a sack, okay? If you don't want to take a sack, you're just not going to take a sack as a quarterback. Oh yeah, Troy? Please explain to me how Caleb was not supposed to take a sack when he's got a 300-pound edge rusher getting untouched, going straight to the back of his dome. Please explain that, Troy. How does that make any sense? Like, listen, I get his point. Tom Brady would get the ball out, bang, quick, super quick. You know, that's like the meta in the NFL for like a pocket passer, you know what I mean? You get the ball out as fast as you possibly can, but you know what that requires? That requires at least 1 second of your offensive line holding up. It requires your offensive line to at least touch the edge rusher, at least do something. It requires at least a chip on the edge rusher. It requires something, and it also requires good scheming, and it requires your receivers to actually be open, okay? None of those things are happening for Caleb Williams. None of them. Not one of them. You need all of those things, but not even one of them is happening for Caleb Williams, all right? That's the thing that Troy Aikman and all these haters of Caleb Williams don't understand. If you watched the game last night and you think that what's happening with the Bears team is Caleb Williams' fault, you just don't know ball, or you're not watching the game. It's that simple. It really is that simple. Keenan Allen had, I believe, 4 drops. Rome Odunze had a drop in the end zone. I mean, his receivers aren't even helping him anymore. And he still had 191 yards, no picks, and a touchdown. I mean, that's not a horrible game. That's not an absolutely horrible game. It would have been over 200 yards, okay? It would have been over 200 yards if his receivers could actually catch the ball. And he wouldn't have had a fumble if his offensive line could actually block for a literal millisecond. Just a chip. Anything to just help out Caleb Williams at all in any capacity. That's all that needed to happen, and that didn't even happen. And it's so funny because at the beginning of the season, Ryan Poles was saying, oh, this is the best offensive line depth I've ever had. This is so exciting. This is going to be the greatest offensive line season you've ever seen in your entire life. No. Literally no. It's horrible. And Ryan Poles, our general manager, was an offensive lineman. He was an offensive lineman. You think he would know. Like, you would think he would know good offensive linemen when he sees them, right? Okay, and I will say, Braxton Jones is decent. Darnell Wright is pretty decent. Everybody else is absolutely horrid. Like, horrible. Tevin Jenkins is like extremely mid, but he can't stay healthy. So like that's terrible. Absolutely terrible pick. Don't even get me started on Coleman Shelton, our center. He may be the worst center in the NFL right now. And it might not even be close. I actually don't think it's even close at all. I think he's the worst center in the NFL. He gets blown up every single play. Like, I don't understand. He's basically just hoping that the defensive tackles trip over him after he falls. That's what he's doing. He doesn't actually block. He snaps the ball, falls back instantaneously, and just hopes that one of their feet will like hit his hand as he's falling down so they don't get to Caleb. That's basically what he's doing. He's the worst center I've ever seen in my entire life. And I don't even know who else is on the offensive line at this point. I know Amagaji did terrible. Tevin Jenkins is not even playing, I don't think. And whoever is replacing him is horrible. Braxton Jones is injured. Darnell Wright is okay, but he can't do it all himself, okay? Our offensive line is like the worst in the NFL. It's low-key the worst in the entire NFL. And Caleb Williams has some fault, okay? He does. He's not playing fantastic, but he's a rookie, and I still believe in him, and I think he'll be fine. As soon as our receivers learn how to catch a stupid football and our offensive line learns how to block, then I will actually start to see what Caleb Williams is capable of. Right now, we aren't seeing that because they're not giving him the opportunity to show what he's capable of. Okay, it's just not happening. It's not happening at all because when you get sacked 58 times, you're bound to have a terrible season. Look at CJ Stroud. He's been sacked a similar amount of times, and he's having a terrible season. Okay, he's having a bad season. He had a great season last season because he didn't get sacked as many times. Now he's gotten sacked a billion times, and it hurts, and it makes him play worse, and it's that simple. You just can't be giving up that many sacks. I think people are forgetting how important the offensive line is. And then you look at our run game, which is also bad. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's bad. And it's almost like it's our offensive line's fault, because DeAndre Swift has showed that he's pretty good. He's pretty good. He can make it work. He can make it happen. But our offensive line can't. He gets no opening. He gets nothing. They give him nothing because our offensive line is horrible. If we do not draft an offensive lineman with our first round pick, which will probably be the 5th overall pick at this point, because we're in a tankathon right now. If we do not draft an offensive lineman with our 5th overall pick, I don't think I will be watching another game next season. Who am I kidding? I definitely will, but I won't want to. I won't have fun doing it because Caleb Williams is going to get sacked continuously over and over and over. So, Ryan Poles, this is it. This is it. If he does not hit a home run with our head coach and hit a home run with the offensive line this offseason, he's done. If we don't get 10 wins next season, minimum 10 wins, he's done. He's going bye-bye. Okay? Ryan Poles is done, and then we're rebuilding, and we'll probably ruin Caleb Williams' career with it, and it'll be the worst thing ever, and we'll continue to rinse and repeat everything that we've ever done since the existence of the Chicago Bears, which is ruin quarterbacks, and just hope that we get a Walter Payton and a Richard Dent, and, the best defense you've ever seen in your entire life, because we just can never get offense going unless we have Walter Payton. So, drop a like and subscribe.